Hi friends, Naji here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about LangGraph multi-agent architecture, and we will be discussing on a special multi-agent architecture that is called the Swarm. So in our previous videos, and if you are following along with me, so I have discussed about a supervisor agent architecture, a multi-agent architecture, in which a supervisor is the one who controls everything. For example, the request is coming to the supervisor, and supervisor will decide to which agent this has to be passed. Okay. So based on that, the supervisor will decide the different agent actions, and finally the supervisor will consolidate all the answers, or it will summarize the answer, and it will return back to the user. Okay. So this is little different architecture, and we can see how this works. Okay. Let's look on the definition. Okay, so a swarm is a type of multi-agent architecture where agents dynamically hand off control to one another based on their specialization. Okay, the system remembers which agent was last active, ensuring that one subsequent interaction and the conversation resumes with that agent. Okay, so just a definition. Okay, so we can discuss it more. Okay, just have a look on this particular diagram, what happens. Okay, here we can see we can see like three agents. One is the welcome agent, and one is the calculator agent, and other is the weather agent. Okay, so the calculator agent is responsible for calculating different arithmetic operations, and welcome agent is responsible for the greetings, we can say. Okay, then weather agent, which is responsible for by maybe like checking the weather in a particular place. Okay, so here we can see different arrows. The weather agent knows about other two agents, like it knows about the calculator agent and what does the calculator agent is doing, and also it knows about the welcome agent, and it is very clear idea about the welcome agent. Okay, so similar to that, each and every agent knows about other agents. Okay, and what happens in swarm architecture, maybe like the request is coming. Okay, so we will set like welcome agent as a by default agent or default node. So once the request is coming from a user, so the welcome agent will check, okay, this is a greeting, or this is something like a weather, or something like a calculating something. Okay, so based on that, it will decide, okay, if it is a greeting, it will return from by itself. Okay, it will say that hi, and if it is something related to the weather, it will redirect to the weather. Then the weather agent will take care of that, and it will return the answer back to the user. So if it is not weather and something, if it is something that related to the calculator agent, the calculator agent will take care of that. It will return the answer to the user. Okay, so that is how this works. And internally, this is done by using internally they are keeping a common memory, and they will be able to share in between. Okay, so we'll see, and in our practically we can see how this work. How can we create a swarm a multi-agent architecture? So the what I am planning to do, first I will be creating a notebook, and in notebook we will try to execute this particular example. So once that is done, maybe we can create a FastAPI endpoint, and we will try to connect it using the HTML interface. Okay, so let's open our Visual Studio Code. So let me open my Visual Studio Code. Okay, so here we can see the requirement.txt file. Okay, so we can use the LangGraph Swarm, and we can use LangGraph OpenAI, then FastAPI, and I am using the UVCon also. And maybe like you may have to add something more, because in my environment there is maybe like LangChain or LangGraph is already installed. So based on the, if you are getting an error, please put in the comment box. I will try to solve that, or otherwise you can just Google it. Okay, then coming to the, okay, its name should be demo. Okay, I have created a demo.notebook file. Here just created two functions. One is the arithmetic tool. Okay, so this will get a operation and two numbers, and it will do some kind of arithmetic operations. And here there is a weather tool is created, or weather function is created, which will accept a place, and based on that it will return some temperatures. Okay, so this temperature is, I'm just returning it in the maybe Fahrenheit, we can say. And this is a hard-coded function. So based on the place, like if it is a New York, we are returning the 55, and if it is Chicago, we are returning just 30. Otherwise, we are returning 40. Now we can start importing few packages. Okay. First, let's import .env. Okay. Before that, let me select the kernel. Let's select the kernel. The kernel is ready. I'm executing the cells. Okay. Now I can import the load env, and let's load the env. So I have my .env file which contains OpenAI API key. So this will help load the environment variable. Okay. So once that is done, we can import LangChain OpenAI. I can import chat OpenAI can be imported. So let's import the few packages. So from LangGraph, from pre-build, I can import create React agent. Everybody must be know about this create React agent, which will help us to create the agent. Then we have a LangGraph Swarm. I can import create handoff tool and create swarm. So these are the methods, or these are the packages that we need to import. So after the basic import is done, we have the arithmetic functions are also available. We can start creating the agents. Okay. First, I am going to create a greeting agent. For that, I can create a welcome agent. I am going to name it as a welcome agent. You guys can call it as a greeting agent also. Here I am going to create a React agent. Okay. I need to create a model. Okay. So for that, let me have a model here. I can create a model. This model I can use chat OpenAI. The model that I am going to use is GPT-4o. Okay. The model is ready. Now this welcome agent welcome agent has some tools, right? Also, this welcome agent has to know about like other agents. So let's define which all are the agent that I am going to use. Okay. First agent that I am going to use is the welcome agent. Then the second agent will be calculator agent. Okay, this is from the diagram. Then the third agent, we are going to use the weather agent. Okay. So this welcome agent may be using some kind of a tools. Okay. Otherwise, it may not be. Maybe like just forget that it is using some custom tools. Let's think about in this way. Okay. So this welcome agent has to know about this calculator agent and has to know about the weather agent. Okay. So this create React agent will consider these agents as a tools. Okay. For that, let me create a variable called tools. I can say welcome agent tools. You will get a clear idea about this, what's going to happen. Okay. So I'm going to use a create handoff tool, and here I can say agent name. Okay. So this is the agent name for calculator agent. Okay. And next create a tool. Here I can specify the agent as a weather agent. Okay. The tools are created. Now I am going to create the welcome agent. Here I can say create React agent. The model will be I can say model dot. I can specify the tools. Okay. Build with tools. Here specifically I can say that LLM with tools. So let me check this. Not LLM tools. Here I can say bind tools. Just pass the welcome agent tool. Okay, so this is my model. Then tools, I can specifically say welcome agent tool. Okay, so once this is done, we can specifically say the prompt. The prompt I am going to say is you are a welcome agent. Okay, I can say whenever a greeting says you need to do the greeting back. Let me give a name as welcome agent. Okay, so I have created my first agent, the welcome agent. Okay, and the what welcome agent does is it will creating a model, and the model is creating with the some tools, and we have to set as a parallel calls as a false. Okay, so we are doing this because there is a built-in issue is there with respect to the swarm. Maybe they will be fixing that in their future release, but we have to do to avoid the parallel calls. Okay, fine. So we have our welcome agent is there. We define the model, then we define the tools, then we are saying the prompt. This prompt is not good. Maybe you can use ChatGPT to create one, and I am giving the name. So once this is done, in the similar way, I can create a calculator agent. Okay, for that, let's have a calculator agent tool. Calculator agent tool. So here I have a custom tool is there, right? The custom tool is I can say arithmetic tool is there. So let me add the arithmetic tool. Now I can have a create hands-off tool. Here I can say agent name is equal to welcome agent. So the one agent is the welcome agent, then other is the weather agent. So let me copy and paste from here. We have the weather agent. Okay, now let's say calculator agent. Calculator agent, we can use create react agent, then specifically say model. Model will be model dot bind with the tools. Bind tools. Specifically say calculator agent tools. Specify the prompt. Okay, prompt I can say calculator agent for add, subtract, multiplication and division. Let's have the agent name. Name will be calculator agent. Okay, so we are getting an error. Create handoff tool is some issues there. So let me check this. Calculator tool agent. Here we have the arithmetic tool. Create handoff tool. Okay, so this should be create react agent. Create react agent. Create react agent. We have the model. Okay, then I have to specify the tools as calculator agent tools. Now the prompt. Okay, so I have created the create react agent. Now we are going to create the third one, that is the weather agent, right? So for that we have a weather tool, weather agent tool. So the tool name is get weather. We have already created that. Then create a handoff tool. I can say welcome agent is one of them. Then next is create handoff tool. This will be calculator agent. Now create a weather agent. I can specifically say create React agent, then model is equal to model.bindTools. I can say weather agent tool, then tools, weather agent tool, then prompt. You can say you are responsible to what you called you are responsible to check weather or to return weather in a place. Okay. Here also we can give the name will be weather agent. Okay, so we have created three agent, but here we are getting an error. Let me check this. 0 agent. Okay, this will be agent name. I have to say agent name, then I have to say agent name. Okay, so we are good. So we got our three agents are ready. So if you look on this, each agent knows about other agent. Okay, so consider the weather agent, right? So weather agent knows about the welcome agent and also calculator agent, and it also knows about its tools. Okay. So once that is done, we can create a workflow. Workflow can be created. Let me have a create swarm and just pass all the agents. I can pass the calculator agent, I can pass the weather agent, I can pass the welcome agent. Okay. Let's set a default active agent as welcome agent. So whenever a message is coming, it is first hit the welcome agent. So the workflow is created, and again we are getting an error. The welcome agent. Welcome agent. Okay, here it should be weather agent. Okay. Now I can say LangGraph app. Let's say workflow.compile. So to compile this, we have to pass a checkpointer. Okay, so let me define the checkpointer here. So everybody maybe knows about checkpointer, which is the kind of a memory it is we are going to use. Okay, so for creating the checkpointer, we have to create a in-memory checkpointer. Okay. So that is also very easy. I can import LangGraph dot checkpoint dot memory. I can import in-memory server. Now let's have the checkpointer. Let me define the checkpointer here. I can define in-memory server can be defined here. Okay. Now let me do a compile. Okay. So the compilation is done successfully. Now let's give a query and we'll see how this works. Okay. So let me add a couple more things, and first add a config. Okay, so this will be, I can say configuration. Now pass the thread ID. Let's make it as a 1. Okay, so this configuration and checkpointer we are using to keep track of the context of the chat. Okay, so I believe everybody knows it. Otherwise I have already mentioned about a tutorial about this, so I will attach with the comment box. Okay, so this is good, and let's invoke this. So first let me ask about app.invoke. You can say pass a message. Not user, role. So the role will be the user, and the content will be content. I can say what is the weather in New York. Okay, so this app is not defined because we are using the LangGraph app. So let me copy this and paste it here, and let me say it again. Now we are getting an error. It says configurable. Some should be some spelling mistake. Let me see this. Configuration is not. It's a configurable. Configurable. Let's have it. Again, configurable thing. Again, the spelling is not correct. Better to copy this one. Configurable. Spelling is correct, but I need to pass the config here. So let me pass the config here. Okay. So let me have the turn. Just print the turn and check the result. So it says, hello, how can I help you today? And I'm asking about what is the weather, right? So it's not talking about the weather. Message role user, what is the weather in New York? Okay, it's again says, hi, how can I help you today? Okay, so it is not working as expected. So we can check it again, something is wrong or not. We have the welcome message is there, calculator message is there, we have the weather message is there, we're responsible for the, and it's weather tool. Okay, so save it, restart, run all. Okay, this is also not giving as expected. Let me check this. Okay, so I have figured out the problem. The problem is with respect to our model. Okay, so here we are using only single model. Okay, and we are adding the tools with that particular model. So that is causing some kind of issue. So what I have done, I have created three models: model 1, model 2, and model 3. Then I have used these models in the separate agent, the model 1 dot bind tools, then model 2 dot bind tools, and model 3 dot bind tools. Okay, and also I have set all the parallel to calls as false. Okay, so after that this is working fine. So let me give a message. Okay, where is my message? Okay, here I am asking hi. Okay, maybe I can say, so let me change the thread ID to 10. Okay, and I'm asking about hi. So let's see how this works. It says, hello, how can you assist you today? So if you look on this, which agent has worked on this particular thing, we can see that it is executed by the welcome agent. Okay, now next is I'm going to ask, give me weather in Chicago. Okay, so this is executing. Let's check now. Now we can see that the weather in Chicago is 13 degree. It's in Fahrenheit, and we can also check here. It should be executed by the weather agent. Let's look on this. Here we can see the name of the agent is weather agent. Okay. Now add one more question. Add 2. Add 30 and 30. Then the execution is in progress. Executing. We can see it's a 30 plus 30, which is 60. So the answer is correct, and this is also executed by the calculator agent. So this is, we can see this is a kind of a like the execution is done in the synchronous manner, and it is taking some time, right? So ideally this should not be the case in the real scenario. So in a real case it has to be streamed, right? So to make it a little fast, I have created a streaming function. So we will be using the stream event, and what it does is it will have some kind of events that we are it is returning, and based on the event I am printing it. Okay, so let's execute this. So the execution is in progress. here we can see the answer is coming in a stream mode. Okay, so I'm executing again. So we can see that the answer is coming in a stream mode. Okay, so this is usually we will be using this, and what we are going to do next, so I hope this is clear, and what we are going to do, we are going to create a REST endpoint. So we will be using the FastAPI, and we will be connecting the FastAPI with the HTML file or maybe a UI. Okay, so first I will complete the FastAPI code, then we can discuss on it. Otherwise it will be like the video will be too big. Okay, now let's talk about the FastAPI endpoint. Okay, so here these are the import that we have done. So this is a FastAPI import. So, and we are loading the environment. So all those things are done, and this is the models that we are using. We can see model 1, model 2, and model 3 we can be seen here. And this is our arithmetic tool, just like I have discussed in the notebook. Okay, then we can see a welcome message. So here I am added another special function, that is that's a welcome message, which will be added with the, or which is added with the welcome tool. Okay, so there is no other change, and you can see there is a calculator agent is there. Then I have defined the welcome message, sorry, I have defined the weather message, and weather agent is also created, the checkpoint is created, and the workflow is created. Then I have compiled with the checkpoint, and we have done a configuration, and this is the currently it is set as at a static value, that is 11. Okay. Now we are creating a FastAPI app, now adding the middlewares. So this basically we are adding to avoid the course error. So once that is done, so that's I have created a function. So what this function does is, this is just returning, or this is yielding the result from the event, the asynchronous event. So in the notebook I have mentioned about this asynchronous stream event, right? So what it does is, it will go through each and every tokens. Okay, then this will return the result back to the UI. Okay, so this is a supporting function that we are using, and we have only one REST endpoint, that is the post endpoint. The post endpoint is accepting a message keyword from the user. Okay, so this will be passed to the generate word stream. Okay, so this message will be passed to this particular function. Okay, so instead of hard-coded message or hard-coded query, we will be using a message, a dynamic message from the user. Okay, and this is the basic REST endpoint, and you guys can see I have run this FastAPI using the command uvcon. Okay, so once that is done, I have created a sample HTML file. So if you look on the sample HTML file, so let me open this file. Okay, so this is a sample HTML file. This is I am using to connect with our REST endpoint. Okay, so I'm not really good in writing HTML codes. This I have created using the ChatGPT. Okay, so you guys can also try it out. So let me make my port number, and let add the HTTP. Now I'm going to say hi. So we'll see what will happen. Okay, it says hello, how can I assist you today? So you can see that it is coming like token by token or word by word, right? Now let's analyze our console. Okay, so console, yeah, it is working fine. Now I can ask let me know weather in New York. Okay, we'll wait. So it says the current temperature in New York is 14 degree or Fahrenheit, and I am saying what about Chicago? So the response is very fast, right? So it says that the current temperature in Chicago is 30 degree Fahrenheit or 30 Fahrenheit. Okay, so I can ask like what about give me on I can say India. Let's see. Okay, it says temperature of India is 40, but that is not correct. It should be 10 as per the code. Okay, But yeah, we can debug it later. So the goal is to understand how the agents are working, and I can say give me average of this. So it's in progress. So it says the average of Chicago in the approximately 36, and it says like 67 degree F. Okay, I don't know why this 36, and it should be like, maybe it's correct. Okay, I'm not going to do the calculation part. Okay, so the goal is we are able to easily implement the Swarm architecture, and we are able to create a REST endpoint, and we have created a simple chat interface. Okay, so you guys can also try it out. So I will be uploading this into my GitHub repository. You guys can download it, and you guys can attempt, or you can try it out with another use case. Okay, so that is all about in this video. Please do like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye.